Hi, everyone. I'm excited to see so many faces here joining us today. How amazing that we have such a great crowd. And I see some new people, some people who've been with us every Friday for a while, as well as some of our heavy hitters amongst the SheEO community. So thank you very much for joining us. So I, being American, am totally going to botch the land acknowledgement because this is not something that is in our American tradition. But before I introduce it, I just wanted to offer my familiarity with a land acknowledgement comes from my Indian heritage, which has always been to get up in the morning, touch my hands on the floor, touch my hands to my eyes and to my heart to thank Mother Earth for allowing me this day and providing me with the resources for this day. So the way that we're doing it here in this context is to take a moment to offer thanks to the Lenape Native Americans who originally owned this land, this island of Manhattan, which is where I am right now. Unfortunately, I had to sell it to the Dutch, but just a moment to acknowledge that we are here with special thanks for them. So after that, let me just tell you the objective of our call today. So today we will hear from Vickie herself, which will be really nice to hear an intro and overview of SheEO and of this community. The format thereafter will be that we will also hear from ventures, from activators, and we'll have breakout groups for something known as an ask-give exchange. Then we'll come back to the main room for some reflections, and from there we will close. So that's the objective. Before we get started, what we'd love to do is to have each of you offer us a one-word check-in. And for those of you who have joined us in the past, rather than going around, because we do have a large crowd today, or inputting this information to the chat, please click on the link that Jessie has just added to the chat, and you can add your one-word check-in there. I'll give you a moment.
So we have this new tool this week called Mentimeter that, as you can see on the screen, auto-populates a word cloud based on what words, one-word check-ins everyone's submitting. And you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, 14 of you so far have submitted your words. The words that grow in size represent that multiple people have been sharing. So we have a lot of people on the call today who are grateful, hopeful, and curious. Keep those words coming. We have 22 entries so far. Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, great. So while some of you are still doing that, I just want to remind you, if you could please click on the upper right-hand corner of your Zoom box on the three little dots, and please rename yourself to add an A for Activator, a V for Venture, or a G for Guest. And with that, I'll turn it over to Vickie.
Hi, everyone. I had to unmute myself and share my screen at the same time. Hello, the new world of digital everything. So nice to see everyone. Thanks so much for joining today. My name is Vickie Saunders, and I'm the founder of SheEO. And we are a global community of women who are working on the world's to-do list, which is the short form that we have for the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. We really believe that almost everything in society needs to be redesigned so that it benefits all, starting with the economy and starting with, I mean, pretty much every single sector. So I wanted to just start with this. And this is a very stark, very plain screen because this is a very stark thing. 51% of the world's population gets 2.2% of the venture capital. If you're a Latina, it's 0.32%. And if you're a Black woman entrepreneur, 0.0006%. This is statistically impossible to happen without massive bias and structural inequities built into all of our systems. So our model is based on redesigning the world that we're living in to benefit all. And we have some language that's attached to our model, which is new. Because we believe that you have to actually use new language to create new behavior. So we have activators and ventures. And activators are women who contribute capital to this community, and that is their money, their networks, their buying power, their expertise on their own terms. And ventures is our term for entrepreneurs, because we actually fund women who are revenue generating. It could be nonprofits or for-profits who can pay back a loan. That's why we don't just call you a business. So activators and ventures are the two models that we have. And the way that our model works is that you contribute an annual gift. You can do this once, or you can do it every year, of $1,100. $1,000 of that capital goes into a perpetual fund that is loaned out to ventures, women entrepreneurs who are working on the world's to-do list. It's a 0% interest loan, which they pay back over 5 years into the fund, and it just keeps rolling forward. And the $100 goes towards the activator experience and the delivery of this whole community. And so for that $100, these are the kinds of things that you can do in this community. You can join weekly calls like this one we're on right now. You get to vote for the ventures who are applying to see who gets capital, and then you come together for a summit each year if you'd like to. So far, this has been in person. Who knows what the future will hold? We may be doing them on Zoom forever, where we announce the ventures who are who have been selected and who we're going to support. We have an online community and an app where people can ask for support and give support to each other. All activators are helping each other. We have a magazine, and we have tons of podcasts and learning labs where you can be involved in really understanding what are the new models and the new mindsets that are emerging from the entrepreneurs that we're supporting. And for the ventures...
Oh, I can't understand the fucking thing because I can't hear it.
Hi, Mimi. We okay? Can people hear me? Yeah. And so for the ventures, if you're an entrepreneur and you apply into this community, we have criteria that you need to meet. You're between $50K and a couple of $1 million in revenue. You're able to pay back a 0% interest loan, and you get access to thousands of us around the world to help you grow your business. And this model is in 5 countries at the moment. So in the United States, capital that you provide as an activator stays in your country. So US money funds US ventures and is building a perpetual fund, and you're going to hear from a couple of those ventures in a minute. We so far have just over 5,000 activators who have signed up, $5 million in funding out in cycle in the community, and we've funded 68 different ventures. And because of the uniqueness of our model, our ventures are outperforming their peers, so they're growing at faster rates. They're hiring and creating the sustainable and environmentally gold standard jobs of the future. And they're exporting thanks to the community, the network that we are building up globally. This is a look at some of the ventures in the US who have been selected so far. There's such an amazing range. Great diversity of racial diversity, sector diversity from all across the US. And we can't wait for you to get to learn a little bit more about them. We also have been a very iterative organization. We're very quick. We use a lot of tech. We're a super efficient little team of now 13 people. As soon as COVID hit, we brought together all of our ventures to a weekly global call. And the Oprah magazine did a beautiful article on how we pivoted really quickly. All of our ventures are still going. They're sharing resources and expertise across this entire community. We're as far as we know, the only global portfolio of women-led businesses, all of them working on the world's to-do list. So we're really thrilled that you're here, and I will turn it back over to Jessie or Nalini to bring up the venture, whoever's next. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicki. We're getting some questions. I'm getting some private questions here about whether the slides will be available. Vicki, could you answer that? Yes, thumbs up from Vicki. So yes, indeed. Okay, so next we are going to hear from 2 of our ventures. First up is Brandy DeCarly, whose venture is called Farm from a Box. I will let you take it away, Brandy.
Hello, everyone. Some of you I know, and it's really good to see you again. Some of you brand new, so it's a pleasure to meet you. Vicki, thank you so much for that. It was interesting thinking about what to say because you just basically nailed all of our experiences in that presentation. My name is Brandy DeCarli, and I'm the founder of Farm from a Box. And Farm from a Box, essentially, we've put together a complete off-grid toolkit for local farm production. Something that is definitely necessary right now, more so than ever. If you imagine it, well, I'll show you. Vicki had mentioned the SheEO magazine. This is one of the best magazines. You see B somewhere in here on the call. She's on the cover as well. And this is what our system looks like. So imagine a big engineered off-grid clean tech system for food independence. When we first came to SheEO, you know, as Vicki said, it's not easy to raise funding when you're a female founder. And it's not easy when you're raising funding off of a big piece of hardware that's software enabled either. So when we applied for SheEO, getting the capital definitely made a huge difference for us in terms of helping us get out of the gates and really continue our growth. But the larger thing, to be honest with you, has been exactly this broader network that we're able to connect in. Number one, SheEO provides mentorship. And it's the first time that I've ever been able to have this level of guidance and development as I'm bouncing off ideas of what am I going to do with this particular marketing decision, or what am I going to do about IP in South Africa to make sure that we're protected before we expand into that area. Really being able to have that solid foundation of guidance to help nurture you through the many ups and downs of entrepreneurship has been incredibly valuable. As soon as we jumped in, we had announced our 4.0 launch for the US market mere 4 weeks before COVID-19 hit and the shelter in place hit. And for us, all of our planned revenue and sales completely dropped off of the cliff, like many, many small businesses and definitely startups. What I really found through this was the strength of this community, in that how all of the ventures came together and just literally started resourcing and supporting in what would have been a really isolated situation. So weathering COVID together from both the activator side and the venture side has made an incredible impact. Connecting with ventures, many of you on this call have provided assistance to us in terms of sales, in terms of marketing, in terms of business connections. So SheEO is really such a broad network that you get the opportunity to be able to tap into from so many different degrees. Where we are now, just to make sure that I transfer it to another phenomenal founder, is we're back up and running, and we jumped from having all of our 2020 revenue fall off the cliff to up and running again now, where we're doing sales in the US. We're supporting indigenous communities with off-grid farming. We're doing big deals now with the United Nations and exporting a lot of our systems and starting to do now volume production as opposed to singularly one unit here and there. And the exciting thing about that is that we get the opportunity to really direct technology to those that did not have access to it previously and can really strengthen their own food production, their own independence, and their own economic development and strength too. And that is definitely something that we need more of today, and we need to do so in a way that is healthy for the planet, but is also healthy for people. B and I have spoken quite a bit about shifting from singularly looking at the value of wealth from a monetary perspective, and wealth, W-E-L-L, in terms of how can we really foster a much broader and deeper level of nutrition, economic development, social health, connectivity, and I think that's where we are right now. So the interesting thing, again, I am such a huge fan of SheEO, and really seeing a community that comes together and thinks on the fly, and resources where I've just never experienced it before. So I'm incredibly, incredibly grateful for Vicki. And as we are growing as a company, of which, by the way, we're about to hit the 1 million in revenue mark. So this is really important as a female founder, because this is just an incredible benchmark to be able to hit as a social impact company. And to be honest with you, I don't think it would have happened without SheEO. So I'm just so grateful for this network. And just wait until you meet all the other ventures. Like, this is incredible. Thank you, Jessie. I'll turn it over.
Thank you so much, Brandy. Amazing. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. Yes, indeed. So now we're going to hear from another amazing venture. Sandra, the founder of 10 Power. I'll let you take it away. Thank you.
Thanks, Nalini. Thanks, Vicki, and the whole SheEO team. I'm so incredibly grateful to this community. As Brandy alluded to, you know, in the time of COVID, in the time of the pandemic, I see businesses all around me contracting, shutting down, laying people off. And what I've witnessed with this community is that we have banded together to try and expand, to help each other, to support our staff, to support our customers. And it's just a completely opposite model of the extractive, me first type of economic system that we're living in. So thank you for being part of SheEO. Thank you, Vicki, and to all the entrepreneurs that are doing incredible work. I'm going to share a couple of slides, because what we do at 10 Power is we provide renewable energy in international markets that lack electricity. So it's fun to get some visuals. Let me share this big screen. Can you see this? Awesome. This is one of our first solar installations in Haiti. It was on a water purification facility. And we work with local solar installers with a gender empowerment training lens in markets that don't have access to electricity to provide renewable energy and energy storage for a reliable, clean energy future. And this project at Unicef Haiti's headquarters was made possible completely by SheEO. This project in 2018 was our largest project at the time to date. And we were really going out on a limb. I was looking at my personal savings to see, you know, if procurement didn't come in time, would I be able to still continue paying my staff? And we just got this SheEO investment just at the perfect moment that helped our company to really grow our capacity and to be able to install the largest solar and energy storage on any Unicef base in the entire world in 2018 at Unicef Haiti's headquarters. And so this was really a flagship installation. Unicef is now expanding solar to a lot of their international bases, but this was really one of the first proving out the business case that these large facilities can run on renewable energy in places across the world that suffer from intermittent blackouts that are mostly running on expensive and polluting diesel generators. And when you look at the impacts of climate change and carbon dioxide emissions and the soot that comes out of diesel generators, it's majority children. And of course, the frontline communities that are already being hit by climate change the hardest are those people who contributed the least to the factors that are creating climate change, because they don't have reliable electricity. They're not contributing to the conditions of climate change that we industrialized nations have really contributed to over the past 100 years. So this is a little bit of drone footage from our Unicef Haiti installation. And during this installation, we also launched a women's solar installer training program. So we were working with Haiti Tech University to help women from Haitian technical training schools get into the green economy that we're helping to build in Haiti. This project we just recently finished. This is a solar-powered water desalination system. It's on an island, Haiti shaped like this, and the island of Lago Nave is right here. And so we were working with Give Power, which is Solar City and Tesla's nonprofit, to build a clean drinking water, solar-powered desalination system that today is up and running and providing clean drinking water to 40,000 people on the island of Lago Nave. And this project, we had so many roadblocks. Haiti has been under extreme economic and political distress for almost a year now. A lot of that is due to the fact that Venezuela was previously providing a fuel subsidy to the entire Caribbean region. And when Venezuela's economy collapsed, that fuel subsidy went away. So a lot of this is tied to fossil fuels and over-reliance on imported fossil fuels in island nations across the world. And so given the political and economic unrest, it was really difficult for us to move inventory around the country. And then the pandemic hit while we were in the middle of the project. our on-the-ground team pulled it together. We completed this amazing installation about a month ago. So clean water has been flowing to the people, and there is an ongoing revenue model that employs local people to cover the ongoing costs of operations and maintenance, so that the system has local ownership and will not fall into disarray. And here's a little bit of drone footage of the water desalination system under construction. And with that, I'm going to stop the presentation. And one thing that we do, for those of you not familiar with the SheEO model, is we have gives and asks, which is really incredible, and something that I really appreciate about the SheEO network. And I was asked to prepare an ask, which is something that's sometimes difficult. But we currently are branching out from the Haiti market, which has been incredibly difficult. So while we do have a big pipeline in Haiti, the speed at which things are happening in Haiti is not enough to support our ongoing revenues and headcount and burn rate. So I'm really seeking to diversify markets right now. So to find some other markets where we can provide renewable energy, gender empowerment, energy storage. And so I'm looking to connect with experts in these fields who can help me from a strategy lens to think about other markets that we can diversify into to help our business to grow and to continue providing renewable energy to the people who need it most and who have contributed the least to climate change. So if anybody pops out in your mind and your network, I'd really love to connect with them, and I'll put my email in the chat. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Hopefully we will all respond to that to that ask using the Ask Gift platform, which I'm sure Jesse will add to our chat in just a second. So now that we've all had a chance to hear two of our ventures share their amazing successes, both of them, I would like to turn it over to three activators so that we can hear about their experience with the SheEO community. First up, we have Judy Zitnick.
Hi, yeah, I'm Judy Zitnick, and I am an activator from Cincinnati. I know I see a lot of friendly faces out there. It's always nice. I've been an activator now for 3 years, and I think kind of the little secret that nobody tells you with SheEO is I think you get more out of this organization being an activator than you do being a venture. So it's always great to listen to the ventures, and I'm so energized, but you know, I come back for lots of reasons, but when I had to think about it, I think there were themes that played out to me as to what I gain of being an activator is, one, I learn so much every day. You know, Vicki talked a lot about all the things that we get as being part of the networks, whether it's the learning labs or the podcast, but it's the connections I've made with the women, both activators and ventures, and following them on LinkedIn. And, you know, I got involved because a friend had posted about SheEO on Facebook, and I just started reading, and I soon found that I was reading and sharing everything Vicki was writing and SheEO was writing. And, you know, through SheEO, I have learned, you know, Vicki talked about a language, and I have learned a whole new language about how to talk about what women are facing in the workforce and just, you know, women in general. And so I have this language and I have these tools, and I've been able to bring that back to my community and to my networks. And so I'm just so grateful for having that learning. The other thing, and you'll probably hear that from a lot of us, is I found my tribe. And when I'm on calls with SheEO or any conversations, I just feel so good. I describe SheEO as a badass group of women who are causing good trouble. And I just believe it. And, you know, again, I just love my interactions. Also, there's this idea of co-creation, and, you know, SheEO is an active group. So it's not a group that you just participate in and, you know, listen or, you know, or get resources. Whether you're a venture or you're an activator, we together are growing this community, and you know, we listen to each other and we learn from each other. So I gain so much in just being part and being invited, but then also learning to take my own initiative. And I'll admit, like when I first joined this group, I actually just kind of sat back and I voted, but I was really more learning because I wasn't as confident in my voice in being part of this network. But over the years and through, you know, the welcoming nature of everyone here, I've clearly found my voice, and just am so thankful. And then the other thing that I really have gained is truly the products through these ventures. There are some products, and I think Bea and the linker are on this call, that have truly changed my life. We bought my father an linker a couple years ago, and he went from sitting on the couch to, he wrote me and he said, this is the first time I've put on exercise clothes in 3 years. And it just truly life-changing. And I could go on because there are just so many products, but you know, these are women that are out here taking risks, and it's so much more than just the, you know, $1,100 that I'm giving a year. I mean, what is that, $92 a month or something? I mean, there's so much to be gained. So, and I love buying the products. I love shouting out about the products because these women deserve to succeed.
Thank you, Judy. I think you've summed up the Activator experience for all of us. In the interest of time, I'm going to ask Toni Purry to go next. And Toni, if you could give us 2 sentences about your experience with SheEO as an activator, that would be great. Could you unmute yourself?
Yes, sorry about that. Yes, 2 sentences. I will say that it has been absolutely wonderful to be a part of this global tribe of women who are really radically changing things around the world within their communities. I have learned some really amazing things about being a part of this group. And I think one of the biggest takeaways is learning how to ask. I think as women, most of us are really good at giving and giving and giving, but we are very conservative about how we make asks. And so that's been a really big takeaway for me being a part of this community. I absolutely love it. This Friday call is the highlight. It's the best way to start the end of the week. I'm always so motivated and inspired by the women that I meet. I'm very connected to a lot of women on LinkedIn now through SheEO, and I absolutely love it. I cannot recommend this group highly enough. And I have a number of friends who I have pulled in as activators as well, and they are so thankful and so glad to be a part of it. So I really can't say enough great things about being a part of this community. It is enriching, it's fulfilling, it's motivating, it's inspiring, and it really makes you feel like that $1,100 that you're doing is moving the needle in a major way. So I'm proud to be a part, and will continue to for as long as I absolutely can.
Thank you so much, Toni. As you can all tell, it's really hard to sum it up in 2 sentences.
I know, sorry.
That's okay. But Lisa, I'm going to ask you if you could do the same.
Challenge on. I'm going to put my timers on because, as you can all tell, we could each do a SheEO podcast because our passion just comes through. So I'm going to say, ditto, Judy, excellent comments. Ditto, Toni, excellent comments. I amplify both of your words and your spirit. And I would simply say what brought me into SheEO was one phrase. Imagine if you were surrounded by radically generous women. Would you think and act differently? And for me, I paused and said, I don't think I've ever been. And I immediately said, I'm in. And 3 years later, I'm in deeper and deeper and deeper and profoundly grateful. It's such a place where I receive purpose. Welcome to those of you who accepted my invitation today. We've got a few new friends here. And ironically, I'm wearing my Women in America hat, which is a network I'm part of that is my safe place as well. And so this is additive to that. Bye. Welcome.
Thank you, Lisa. Okay, so now that we're lifted up through the stories from the ventures, the experiences of the activators, what we're going to do is to split up into breakout rooms. The theme of the breakout room will be radical generosity, and the way that it will show up is in the form of an ask-give exercise. So through the magic of the internet, Jessie will wave her wand and send us off into breakout rooms. What we ask that you do is to start with a quick round of intros and then proceed with asks. What do you need help with? Then gives. What support would you like to offer the other participants in your group? And for guests, we want to let you know that this is a great opportunity for you to ask any questions that you might have. Before you close out the breakout room, we ask that each group please come back with a 3-word summary of your conversation and identify one person who's going to share it with the rest of us. And with that, I'll turn it to Jessie.
Thanks, Nalini. So we're going to have 8 groups today of about 7 or 8 each, and then we'll meet back here at 1:50 p.m. Eastern or 10:02, depending on what time zone you're in. So opening up the groups in one moment here. Alrighty, so you'll see a button now to join your breakout group. Hope you enjoy, and we'll meet back here in the main room.
Is that we all recognize that it's not super comfortable to always ask for support, but we love to give it. So reframing asking as creating that opportunity for other people to give. And that always, I love that. That makes me so happy. And so that's a little bit about what we're going to do today. What is something that we can provide support for you with? And what is maybe there's something that you could use some support with? If we could start off with intros and a little bit about who you are, and not really want so much about what is your job, but what is the thing that you're focused on putting your energy into in this moment that we could perhaps support you with. And then if I'll pick somebody to start, and then if you want to pick somebody else after you so we can keep it going, that would be awesome. Jessie, why don't we start with you?
Hi, everyone. I'm Jessie. I'm SheEO's Director of Activator Growth. Help facilitate these calls, usually hop in between different breakout groups. Here, if you have any questions about SheEO or getting involved as an activator. I will pass it to Jamie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jamie Martin. I am a life and leadership coach. I'd say the thing that I'm most focused in on putting my energy around right now is continuing to build my business. And getting connected to either other business women who are interested in referrals and building that network of referrals. And then Lisa.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa Sloan. My company is More Inclusive Healthcare. We focus on initiating more inclusive healthcare within the industry, both through the collection of data and the use of that data. So we train registration staff, for example, in how to collect race, ethnicity, and language data. And then we teach health system employees how to utilize that data to identify health disparities. We are also engaged in work around racial justice and implicit bias interruption. And so, as you can imagine, things are a little bit crazy for us right now. And I will pass it to Adrienne.
Hi, everyone. I'm Adrienne. I help companies with their tech needs, software needs, because I build software products, so I'm passionate about anything tech. One of the things I'm focusing on, and so I'm normally based in California, but I am actually currently in Paris, which I just flew there 2 days ago. And so one of the things I'm focusing on right now is, I think, just globally, there should be more women on boards. So I'm looking to figure out how I can get on a board. So if anybody is on a board or knows people who are on a board and knows about the experience, I'd love to chat. And then in terms of a give, just a very specific give, because I'm getting these questions. If anybody has questions about traveling right now during COVID, I just went through it. So get ready to wear a mask for 15 hours, but otherwise it's all fine. Sorry, I need to B.
Good morning, everyone. I am an activator from the beginning and a venture in the second year in Canada. I am the inventor of the linker a yellow walking bike. And I'm based in Canada, but I'm on this call because there's 4 other women on this call who all work for the Ilinker in the USA, because we incorporated the Ilinker family since that time in the US. And it's a nice way for my team to be introduced to SheEO. My main focus at the moment is being in the world and how to look at everything that's happening in a systemic way. Like, how do we really change systems, if not build new systems? And then with the recognition, like, the system is not an external thing. We are the system as long as we uphold it. So white supremacy is something that is upheld by us as long as we support it in our actions, in our mindset, in everything else. So the decolonization of ourselves is not the going anti-racist. I see anti-racist as a symptom of the bigger system that purposely designed racism to divide us. So I'm really trying to be in this world and trying to open conversations, especially with other white people, because what happens is that people of color and Black people are burdened by white people coming to the awareness, like, oh shit, what's happening? And so white people that want to know more and want to be in the work, call me.
Love it.
And I'm handing it back over to, I think Beth went offline, to Emilia.
Sure, and I realized I didn't really intro myself. My name is Emilia Monte. I've been an activator. So when Vicki was looking to expand into the US, she got connected with Julie Trell to help her set that up. And Julie and I are alumni of an amazing program and good friends. And she was telling me about it. And I was like, take my money. Like, call me when the portal's open, take my money. I've been in female-led startups. I've been through so much of this, and I want to help other people learn from the mistakes. And so what my whole career has been, as much as possible, helping with operational strategy, product strategy, as much as possible, connecting with female entrepreneurs. At the moment, I'm working with a friend on creating what would it look like to have a square space for museums to help them get exhibits online. So people aren't able to go to museums. Museums as institutions, some things they do really well, some things not so well, but they are really important. And because people aren't able to get there in person, how can we help them in a way that's cost effective, doesn't require a lot of technical solution? So I guess actually my ask would be, and we're looking to start with centers of consciousness. So the Desmond Tutu Foundation, so look, organizations that have a very strong mission. And so if you have connections to any of those, even small ones, we would love to be able to interview as we're starting to prototype and show what we're proposing for them to talk about what's exciting or not exciting. So you can drop me an email if you have any of those connections. And that is kind of what is going on with me at the moment. Lisa, you talked a bit about inclusion in healthcare and those being such important things. Do you have an ask or some way that something that would help you to further that along?
Number 2 meeting, and I'll be happy to email you, of course.
Yes, great. And everybody can save the content in the chat. So Lena, if you'd like to go into the chat right now and send it to everyone, so when we go back,
sure,
share the great, a sort of a give and an ask that I would say. So that's fantastic that we heard from you. Jessie's joined. Hello, Jessie. She's like the wind. She pops in and out. So at any rate, would anybody else like to ask any questions, Alina, or offer some other ask gives? But that's exactly what this organization is. What's that, Cheryl?
I can certainly do one. Okay, so for those that know me, my name is Cheryl Sutherland. I have this amazing line of affirmation-filled goods called Please Note. So I have guided journals for clarity, gratitude, et cetera, et cetera. So my ask is I'm actively looking for more places to speak. So I do workshops, a lot of client workshops, and especially when it comes to wellness. And so looking for more places that I can support there. And then my give, so I've actually compiled this really juicy anti-racism unlearning library. So it's full of books, petitions, places to donate, media to watch, terms and history. So I would love to share that with you guys. It's at no cost. And I think that it's been really supportive for people to give to other people so that they can start their own unlearning journey.
Right.
That's it. So I'll drop the link in the chat box.
Please do so. And I don't know how to save my chat box. So are you on LinkedIn that I can connect with you there? Perfect, I will. And coincidentally, again, an example of the Ask Give, I'm working on an inclusion and diversity event with the insurance industry. It's a global event. And the topic of the event I'm hosting is on racism, disrupting racism in the insurance industry. And what you offer is exactly what I'm thinking about. So we will connect.
Lisa, as a way to save the chat, if you open the chat, the 3 dots on the lower right hand pops up the save chat option for you.
Yeah, I know. I've done that every call. And well, no, it's me. I just can't find it then on my computer. So the technology piece, I have learned Zoom. I have learned how to save the chat. I can't find things in this box.
You can't find it once it saves.
I really,
yeah, that's too bad. I wonder.
I just celebrated my 60th birthday, and I've got a laptop and iPad.
You got stuff in there.
Can someone in
Happy
the group
birthday
as an ask for Lisa share the chat with Lisa afterwards?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good. Send it as an attachment. Thank you. Great. I think we have, I'm doing better with my timing thing here because we've got a couple minutes. We can just talk forever. So anyone else want to jump in and share some words?
I can do a quick one.
Sure.
Just letting you know, I run an entrepreneurial program out of Bethesda, Maryland called the Bethesda Green Innovation Lab. We work with specifically entrepreneurs who have environmental sustainability at the core of their business model. We work from idea stage companies through Series A. So I guess the give would be if you are in that field industry at all and you're looking for support services that we offer those sort of things to entrepreneurs. And an ask would be is that I'm always looking for talented industry experts who have capacity, who may be interested in serving as mentors to our wonderful entrepreneurs. This can be as much as the industry themselves and the business models will have environmental sustainability or sustainable food supply chain at their core. So ag tech, distribution, retail solutions, clean energy, all that. The mentors don't necessarily have to have the industry experience for that, but marketing, accounting, finance, all of that. So I'm always looking to grow the network for that. We are expanding a little bit. We're expanding into a virtual program. So we will be opening up nationwide for a little bit, for a small portion of our cohort, both this fall and moving forward. So I'll put the link, the Bethesda Green link in the chat.
Fabulous. And here's my give, Patty. So I'm in the insurance sector and spent a long time there. And I know particularly small businesses or startup businesses, they don't, and particularly women-led businesses, forget it, no attention and whatnot. Right. So I like to work with those firms. It's not for commission. That's not what I'm doing. It's because I really want, they're the underserved and I really want to build the right program for them. So we'll build a relationship.
Yeah, I'd love to chat. That'd be great.
Great.
Launch in Cameroon and in Ivory Coast, our pilot, and through that pilot, we are collecting feedback to actually develop the platform that is going to be that's going to help us go at scale. And it's a very promising sort of like initiative because the people we're talking to in Haiti or in India or in Latin America, everyone really is really looking forward to actually have us come to their country. So a lot of work happening. And just into parenthesis quick, Sandra, I think you mentioned about the willingness to discuss with other people opportunities to, expand your market. So I don't know whether I can help, but I'm totally happy to get into the discussion. I can already see how helpful your initiative would be, like, to many countries in Africa where we're already active. So maybe there are some synergies there in terms of how you tap into that market. And then so when it comes to Kimbo Care, I think number one thing that we're looking at, I am definitely trying to have us be more connected to networks of tech entrepreneur, like women entrepreneurs. And so a platform like this, for me, it's like, it sounds like it's working. It sounds like we're really in here to really help each other. There are so many of them out there, and you don't necessarily see the impact. And
Muriel, I hate to cut you off, but we've got 3 minutes left.
Okay, so Renee, I'm gonna reach out to you. So just to finish up on that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Emily, do you want to share your ask and give?
Yeah, so my ask is that I'm looking to expand my YouTube channel. So I'm looking for people who are interested in doing panels, presentations, and workshops that might align with strong female characters and women working in different industries, even, just talking about that. So you can reach out to me for that. And then my give is I'm putting together a workshop on how to make your own website with WordPress and WooCommerce for the do-it-yourself types who want to know how to do it. So I'm about half done my my slide deck for that. So I'm hoping to announce when I can schedule the real thing soon, and that people can join in on.
Very good. Patricia, I'm going to pass it over to you.
I'll be really quick. I wanted to say that my ask is we're trying to help people in the workplace learn how to save for college and pay down student loan debt. If you know of any employers of any size where I can get in and introduce our platform, that would be great. And beyond that, in terms of my give, I am an exceptional writer, and I'm particularly good at looking at other people's work. So if there's something that you want an extra set of eyes on, I'm quick, I'm good. As long as I can understand the subject matter, I'd be glad to help any and all of you.
That's fantastic. Kim?
Hi, so quick question first. Kim, is there a way I can get hold of everybody here in this room?
I'll send, if you all make sure and put your LinkedIn information in the chat, I will send an email out to everybody. Put your email address as well, your LinkedIn and your email address, and I will send an email out to everybody.
Okay, so I don't have an ask. I'm in between businesses. I'll probably start another one. I don't know what yet. Give, one of the things I do is I review business plans, usually in the tech sector. I've done it for private parties. I've done it for VC firms. I still do it for the federal government, one of the agencies, gets proposals for funding from young companies. So if any of you needs an opinion from me on their business plan, if you want to present or pitch, I'm happy to do that.
Very good. Have we gotten everybody? Renee, we didn't hear from you.
I don't have an ask, but a give. If you have any questions at all, my email's in here. Please feel free to reach out. Any questions about SheEO, becoming a venture, anything.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're just waiting for a few more groups to join us. How was your breakout room experience?
Jessie, can you put me back in room 7?
So everyone will be back here in 10 seconds.
I know. I
can't. I've already closed the rooms. Yes.
Oh, okay, no worries.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Here we go. Welcome back, everyone. "20 more seconds and then everyone will be back here. It's always a good sign when you close it and people wait till the very, very last second. Alrighty, I think we are all back. Just scrolling through to see everyone. Nalini, I'm going to pass it back to you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jessie. So what we're going to do next is to hear from each of the facilitators, the 3-word shares. So I'll share from mine. It was creativity, problem solving, and engagement. I will call on Lisa next.
Well, we are going to ask Michelle to represent us. She's a guest today, and she summarized it well. So Michelle?
Our 3 words: inspiring, helpful, and connections. Inspiring, helpful, connections.
Thank you, Michelle. Toni?
We actually got so busy talking, we didn't do ours. So I'm going to say ours for us. And I would say it is inspiring, motivated, and productive. It was a productive time to meet really great women.
Okay, thank you. Emilia?
We also, I forgot to do that as a group. So I will say that it was about elevating systems and growth.
Great, thank you. Judy?
Dina's going to speak for us.
Okay.
So our group was support, care, and creation.
Thank you, Dina. Hannah?
We have openness, collaboration, and woman power.
Thank you. Jessica?
We had, here we go, learning, a lot of learning going on, learning about SheEO, and then inspiring and a lot of connections.
Okay. And finally, Lisa Dyson.
We noticed a common theme across a lot of what people were interested in is investing in women. So ours is a 3-word phrase rather than 3 individual words.
Amazing. Okay, great. So with this, we will next hear from Lisa Tepper about activating.
All right, well, thank you for the opportunity to just spend an hour with everyone. As I look at this, my 3 words are always time well spent. I look forward to 1 o'clock on Friday, and I can never believe that it's 2 o'clock. So again, a warm greeting for everyone who's joining us for the first time, whether you're a guest or whether you're an activator who's, found the opportunity to join us. We just love these moments. And when we got into our breakout group, we started talking about ask, give, and Lena made it easy. She said, well, is the ask, am I going to join? Yes, Lena, the ask is, are you going to join? We certainly welcome everyone into this wonderful community. And as we've all shared, it's, money well spent also, because for me, it's $92 a month that buys me, if you will, it doesn't buy. It allows me the opportunity to be purposeful with those $92, because those $92 go into the fund that's the interest-free loan for the great stories you heard today and so many others you would hear. And the return on that is an emotional investment. So I don't have a finance background. I got a heart, and I've worked hard to earn my funds, and I just feel so purposeful as to how I give them back. So lots of information on the website. We're all here to share if you want to know more, but I hope this was time well spent and you'll consider money well contributed.
Thank you, Lisa. Jessie has placed a link into the chat for any of you who are our guests today and would like to explore activating. We hope that you do join us. So please feel free to click that link and reach out with any questions that you may have. So one more request that we make of you, another link to click on, is for feedback. We're always looking to improve. And there's another link that Jessie has posted to share your feedback from today's event. That's also in the chat. Finally, we are going to do our one-word checkout once more. So please click on this other link for our one-word
Third link that Jessie posted in the chat.
Exactly. There we go.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen again. So let's see how everyone's feeling at the end of the call today. Optimistic, energized, grateful, inspired, excited, happy, honored, intrigued. 12 submissions so far. Inspired is growing, so multiple people are feeling inspired at the end of our call today. Empowered, connected. Keep those words coming. And then in a moment, for anyone who's joined one of these calls before, you know what's coming. We're going to take a group photo. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, and we'd love to take a photo so we can share out loud on social media. Our hashtag that has emerged since we started these calls is hashtag SheEO Magic. So yep, everyone who's tucking away their hair. And as you may have seen, any screenshots or people are just smiling looks a little bit flat because of Zoom. So if you can put your hands up in the air like Brandy did when she was celebrating hitting $1 million in revenue. We're going to take a couple screenshots here. Here's the first screen, 3, 2, 1. And we have 3 screens, so you're on screen 2. Keep your hands up, 3, 2, 1, woohoo! And then our third screen of Radically Generous Women. You might be on this screen. Ready, everyone? Perfect. Thank you so much. And thank you, Nalini, for hosting. All the links are in the chat. Before you sign off, recommend saving the chat so you can access any of those links going forward. And otherwise, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.